Hey there, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Cerise Fairfax. I'm coming at you from the Dominican Republic on the North Coast, from a province by the name of Puerto Plata, in a little neighborhood by the name of Los Charamicos. It's a local neighborhood where I live, and also in the municipal called Sosua. It's a very popular destination. Puerto Plata is popular, but Sosua is one of the most popular destinations on the whole island. But that has been changing a little bit. And I thought I would do a video to discuss the reasons why. Some people are saying it's because of the Sosua changes and the Operation Atlantico. For more information on that, you can check out some of my other videos. However, other people are saying it's because Punta Cana has more to offer. But I think it's better to go through the facts first before we assume. So, welcome to this analysis of Dominican tourism, where two airports tell two very different stories: Punta Cana Airport and Puerto Plata. Now, as we listen to this video, you're going to be seeing on the video Pedro Clisante. Pedro Clisante is the main street in the tourist hub of Sosua. The area is called El Batey, Elbatey, which translates in English from Spanish, the center. And this street, Pedro Clisante, is the center of Sosua. So we're going to, just kind of watch the video as I give you all the facts here about the two airports and the two areas. I do want you to keep in mind that Sosua right now at this time, it is 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday. So it's a little desolate. At the same time, it is low season. So keep that in mind. All right. So welcome to this analysis of the Dominican tourism. On one side, we have Punta Cana. It has an international airport that has become the giant of the Caribbean. It has been breaking records for arrivals. On the other side, Puerto Plata's Gregorio Luperon International, and it's struggling with declining numbers and shrinking airlift. So why does Punta Cana attract more tourists than Puerto Plata? That's what a lot of people ask me. But let's explore the reason in detail, because Puerto Plata has a lot to offer, just like Punta Cana does. And some people say, well, I love Puerto Plata more than Punta Cana. For me, Puerto Plata is more of the real life, and Punta Cana is just about tourism. But then, when we speak about tourism, a lot of tourists say they rather Punta Cana because of this reason right here. Let's get to it. Tourism begins in the sky, right? If a destination is well connected to an airport, then it's going to thrive. If the airport is isolated, the airport's going to struggle. Punta Cana is one of the most connected airports in the Caribbean because it welcomes flights from over 25 countries and more than 50 airlines. For instance, New York, Miami, Boston, Toronto, Frankfurt, Madrid, Paris, London. Those are some big names. Huge cities going directly into Punta Cana. And all of those cities send direct flights to Punta Cana almost daily. That daily word is the key. Even South America has connections there. Bogota, Lima, Buenos Aires. Puerto Plata, in contrast, has far fewer options. Only a handful of airlines serve the airport, many on a seasonal basis. A tourist in Europe, for example, may find a direct flight to Puerto Plata only once a week, compared to daily flights to Punta Cana. A traveler in the US or Canada often finds that flights to Puerto Plata cost more and depart less frequently. Let that sink in for a minute, because when people that are coming in from Europe and they don't want to go to Punta Cana, they will fly into, like, let's say, Santo Domingo, and they will drive here, take a cab here, take the bus here to Puerto Plata, and they're fine with it because they love Sosua. But many people say to me, it would be nice just to have daily flights the same way Punta Cana operates. But here's the impact in peak season. We're going to talk about money now. A round trip from, let's say, New York to Punta Cana may cost around $450. That same route to Puerto Plata could be $550 or even $600 more if the flight is available at all. Now, take into consideration a family of 4. That's hundreds of dollars extra in cost. And of course, when a family is faced with that type of a decision, having to come on vacation, they're not only looking at flights, they're looking at costs of excursions, food, and other things that they may want to purchase during their vacation. So, of course, they're going to opt for the less expensive flight. A family also has to consider accommodations, food, and obviously excursions. So this can really cost a lot more, and the flight fee can be a deciding factor in where they decide to go. Now that we looked at connectivity, which is very important, and also the flights, what happens after people arrive? Because that's also very important. Punta Cana International Airport is private, efficient, and designed for international tourism. Immigration lines are streamlined, luggage is quick, and within minutes, tourists are on buses to massive resorts. Those resorts are the real engine, and tourists who are not looking to go off the resorts love them. Punta Cana has more than 40,000 hotel rooms, giant all-inclusive complexes line Bávaro, Cap Cana, and Uvero Alto. These resorts have the scale to host thousands of tourists at once, offering multiple pools, dozens of restaurants, entertainment, and beaches that stretch for miles. Puerto Plata does have charm, but on a smaller scale. Resorts are fewer and more scattered. But you do have beautiful Cabarete and sweet Sosua, Cofresi, and Playa Dorada. They all offer beautiful settings, but without the sheer concentration of Punta Cana. You see, tour operators prefer Punta Cana because it's easier to bundle flights, transfers, and rooms at low cost. Puerto Plata simply cannot compete with that scale right now. Again, Puerto Plata has different places that you can go to, the ones that I've already mentioned. I'll mention them again: Cabarete, Sosua, Cofresi, Playa Dorada, but they are scattered. And tour operators that put on bundle flights, they really do like to put bundle flights together for tourists, and it just works better for them. Now let's look at the branding and perception, because tourism is not just about infrastructure. It's also about image. For decades, Punta Cana has sold itself as the Caribbean's #1 beach destination. The branding is consistent with white sands, turquoise waters, luxury and safety. When travelers think of Dominican Republic, Punta Cana is often the first name that comes to mind. Puerto Plata, meanwhile, was the original superstar in the 1980s and in the 1990s. But investments shifted eastward, and little by little, it lost visibility. Today, Puerto Plata is still known for its kite surfing in Cabarete, nightlife in Sosua, not so much right now since Operation Atlantico, but I'm sure that will start changing. And also, the nightlife in Cabarete has been taking forefront. And the cable car to Mount Isabel and Pink Street in Puerto Plata, and also you have Umbrella Street, but it doesn't dominate brochures and social media the way Punta Cana does. Recent crackdowns in Sosua have also affected perception. While intended to regulate activity, they discouraged many travelers. In August 2025 alone, Puerto Plata lost an estimated amount of 2,500 tourists are equal to about 8,000 lost hotel and Airbnb nights. For a smaller market, that's a heavy hit. Now, let's look at the economics of air travel. Airline pricing plays a huge role in tourism trends. Airports charge fees, landing, handling, passenger taxes. Punta Cana, with millions of arrivals, can spread these costs wisely. Airlines get better deals and pass the savings to travelers. Puerto Plata, on the other hand, with fewer passengers, doesn't have that leverage. Each flight bears a larger share of fixed costs, pushing fares upward. For example, Canadian package vacations in winter may cost $1,200 per person to go to Punta Cana, but $1,400 or more to Puerto Plata. For a couple or a family, that difference is decisive. Price sensitivity drives volume, and Punta Cana, with its cheaper fares and larger hotel base, consistently wins. Now let's look at the cycle of momentum. Tourism has a snowball effect. Once momentum starts, it feeds itself. In Punta Cana, more tourists attract more airlines. More airlines attract more hotels. More hotels create better deals, drawing even more tourists. And that's what the cycle is. The cycle builds on itself. Puerto Plata is stuck in the opposite cycle. Fewer tourists mean fewer flights. Fewer flights mean higher fares. Higher fares discourage new tourists, leading to fewer bookings. It's a downward loop that is difficult to break without government incentive or major private investment. But the government just went in and started Operation Atlantico, which diminished tourism even more. We're going to put real figures to this, okay? From January to July 2025, Punta Cana welcomed 3.28 million international visitors, up 6.4% from 2024. In August alone, arrivals jumped 8.7% compared to last year. The trend is accelerating. Puerto Plata, on the other hand, in the same period, saw just 234,000 arrivals, down nearly 10% from 2024. In August, the drop worsened to 20%. People are feeling it's because of Operation Atlantico. Now, that 20%, that's thousands of tourists that Puerto Plata lost, and millions of dollars in missed hotel, restaurant, and excursion spending. So the road ahead, let's take a look at that. Let's look at what the future holds. For Punta Cana, growth seems secure. Obviously, right? With more airline partnerships, expanding resorts, and global visibility, the airport is on track for a record-breaking year. For Puerto Plata, the challenge is steep, but it's not impossible. New routes are being negotiated right now. WestJet and other carriers are adding winter flights, which is great. The cruise port in Maimon is expanding, and there is untapped potential in ecotourism, adventure travel, and cultural heritage. Puerto Plata is bringing in a lot of cruise ships as well. Now, Puerto Plata must act quickly. The high season begins in November. If the airport doesn't recover lost capacity by then, the gap with Punta Cana will only widen. As I sit and I reflect on these numbers, I think to myself, so why does Punta Cana attract more tourists than Puerto Plata? Well, I just said it all for you. Because it has more flights, cheaper fares, massive hotel infrastructure, stronger branding, and positive momentum. Puerto Plata has beauty. It really does. It's my home. I love it. And it has potential. But without stronger connectivity and positive marketing, it risks being left behind. And right now, with the negativity glooming over it, people are choosing not to come at all. There are a lot of people who do not want to go to Punta Cana. They've been coming to Puerto Plata for decades and they love Sosua, but they've decided now to not come to the Dominican Republic at all and divert their vacations to places like Colombia, Brazil, Thailand, and even the Philippines. A lot of people are saying until Puerto Plata changes and Sosua resumes its wonderful nightlife and positive energy, they will not be returning. So, this is where we understand. Airports are more than terminals. They are gateways to economic opportunity. And in today's Dominican Republic, the contrast between Punta Cana and Puerto Plata shows us how connectivity, price, and people's perception shape the destiny of entire regions. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Cerise Fairfax. Please take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you gained any information that was beneficial to you. Don't forget to hit like. And remember, I upload videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And sometimes I upload random videos. I focus on the real estate market, housing, tourism, and also the Dominican Republic news. I really appreciate you being here. Please do me a couple of favors. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself because you deserve it. And the other favor, make the best of today because tomorrow is not promised. So remember, you are the ruler of your destiny. Huge hugs, loads of love, and big blessings. I'll see you next video.
Woke up to the sunrise painting the sky. Palm trees swaying like they're saying hi. Coconut water dripping down my chin. So mornings, let the day begin. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul. Living the good life, feeling whole. Queen Cerise, Luther Island charm, local locals teach me peace with no alarm. Mango sweet papayas in my hand, learning their ways I start to understand. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul, living the good life, feeling whole. Dancing in the streets to the beat of the drum. Stories of the past from the old and the young. Traditions flowing like the waves in the sea. The north coast of Sosua, it's setting me free. Fishermen's boats coming back to the shore. Smiles all around, can't ask for more. This life's a treasure, a gift from above. In Sosua, I found a home to love. I live where I love and I love where I live. Every moment here's got something to give. The rhythm of the islands in my soul, living the good life, feeling old. I live where I live. Every moment here's got something to give.